Hey guys, it's a real pleasure to have Sue Fellows, who is the Chief Customer Officer at Workfront. Workfront offers enterprise work management. I'll have Sue describe a little bit more about that. She's spent a whole career in customer-facing activities and is an absolutely passionate customer advocate. So I look forward to all the acrobatics she's going to describe in her customer base. Sue, I wish I could travel. I would love to be in your part of the world, but it sounds like you're hotter than Florida is right now. So I don't know, maybe some other time when you're cooler. But in the meantime, welcome aboard. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and tell us a lot more about Workfront.
Great. Thanks, Vinnie. It's great to be here, and I really appreciate you asking me to do this with you. It's such a great opportunity. So yeah, I live in Salt Lake City, and like Vinnie said, we're going through a little heat wave here. We were just talking about the difference in temperature, and he's about 85 in Florida, and I'm about 103 in Salt Lake City. So definitely not what you would expect from our different locations in the world. So I am the Chief Customer Officer at Workfront. We do enterprise work management solutions. So we really help our customers figure out what it is that they're trying to do in terms of work, helping them set it up, do the work, review the work, approve, and really manage all their resources so that they can get the appropriate amount of work done, and they have this great visibility of everything that's happening in their organization, which I think a lot of organizations struggle with a bit. I've been with Workfront for about 5 years, and prior to this, I've always been in a customer-facing role because that's where I really find my passion is working with customers, and I've worked across a lot of different SaaS companies in different industries. So Vinnie, super excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
Well, Sue, let's jump in. Obviously we've seen all kinds of healthcare heroics, right? But It just seems like in all the doom and gloom, it's actually been an amazing time for energy, customers pivoting, auto companies are jumping in to make ventilators, distilleries jumping in to make hand sanitizers, everyone making PPE. I mean, people have just risen to the challenge, right? It's been amazing, I call them acrobatics to see. Share a little bit about, you deal with customers all the time. What has made you proud in your customer base?
Oh, we have so many great customers in our customer base.
We have a few hours, go ahead.
Yeah, I might take a few hours. We're going to talk about all of them. But just some, key highlights. We've got customers who are right on the front line. So RWJ Barnabas Health, they're the New Jersey's largest integrated health delivery system. Hackensack Meridian Health, Covance, who does medical trials. They're all right there on the front line, and that's a tough spot to be right now. And I just, the attitudes they have and the work they're doing is just amazing. John Paul Mitchell Systems is one of our customers, and if you're not familiar, Vinnie, they do hair care products, and they were the first hair care company that pushed back on animal testing, which was fantastic. And they're always trying to give back to the community. And this was going to be their 40-year anniversary. So they had this huge thing planned, and of course they couldn't do it. And you can imagine that hair salons are really struggling. They're not an essential business. It's hard to get your hair cut. And they were really struggling. So what they did was actually took that $4 million and kind of created their own little fund for the salons so that they could assist them and help them stay on their feet and help them recover. They also pivoted one of their production lines to be able to create hand sanitizer. And then they distributed 40,000 units of hand sanitizer to people on the front line, which is just a really cool and awesome story for them. And it's such an example of pivoting to really help the community. Under Armour is another great one of our customers who did a big pivot, and they pivoted one of their manufacturing lines to do masks that they could distribute to frontline workers, which was amazing. I have another customer, I'm not sure if I can say their name, but they actually did the testing for swabs that you can use in your mouth instead of having to, poke up into your brain to check if you have COVID, which I personally really appreciate. I haven't had to test myself yet, but I don't want anybody poking in my brain. So, all these companies have had to pivot fast and keep their people excited and moving with them. And it's just been so great to see the communities come together to do these things. And also, I love watching the change in our customers and all the focus they're putting on the employees. JLL is one of our customers, and they're a big real estate organization, and they've got 95,000 employees globally. So you can imagine the impact across all these different regions. Mm-hmm. And they've just completely put the whole focus on their people during this time. Instead of necessarily putting the business first, they're putting the people first. And it's just great to see that.
But Sue, you know, one of the things I've been very impressed with Workfront is you seem to be able to take big structure to a lot of unstructured environments, right? Automate stuff that hasn't been automated before, organize stuff that hasn't been automated before. You have customers in financial services, in media, in R&D, you know, not traditionally automated functions. I would think this is a great time because we are automating a whole bunch of processes that we don't know much about, right? Reopen protocols. I mean, whoever thought of that? That must be brand new for customers. So share some other examples of unstructured, unthought of before processes that you have seen Workfront help customers with.
You know, Vinnie, I think it's just work in general. I think there's so much unstructured work that goes on. And when you move from in an office to remote, you have to have an even better visibility on what's happening in your organization and the work that's getting done. And that's what we offer for our customers, is to have that. And so we're taking things that were historically, like you said, not tracked, and now we're tracking them. And one thing we're seeing with our customers is, in certain customers, we have a pocket where a group is using our tool, and those are the ones that have seamlessly made it through the kind of the main, you know, the hot part of COVID. They seamlessly transitioned. And their peers are all looking at them and saying, how did you do that? Because we weren't able to do that. And it's just really showing the need to be able to know what's going on in your organization and to be able to take that work, whether structured or not structured, and put some structure behind it so you know what's happening, you can resource appropriately, and people can see what they're working on.
You know, Sue, so William Gibson, who's a science fiction writer, he said this in the early 90s. I mean, clearly he was ahead of his time as a science fiction writer, but he said the future is already here. It's just unevenly distributed. And I've been doing, you know, interviews with, I don't know, 50 different executives, and some of them are in the dumps. So I interviewed the CIO of Delta, and I thought, my God, I'll have to empathize with him. But he described all kinds of things Delta is doing, you know, refunds, renegotiating leases. Amazing. I was impressed at how much, even going down, how much activity they were doing, how much innovation they were doing. And of course, there are others that are just going up like a rocket. So you must have seen a little bit of both, right, in your customer base. Share some stories about how you're helping people who are not doing so well, like the hair care folks, and also ones that are growing like a rocket, like community banks that may have had an amazing time with all the PPP loans.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of our customers processes the checks that go out to folks, the stimulus checks. So they've been so busy, and everyone from the CEO on down is processing these checks, which is kind of a cool story. And they're really leveraging Workfront to help them get all their work done. And that's just a really cool story. And they probably never expected we're going to have to process so many checks at once, which is, you know, kind of crazy for them to pivot everything they were doing. And we have a lot of customers who are in retail and airlines and some of the other really hard hit industries. And we're really working hard with them to make sure that we can support them through this time, whether it be helping them tune up what they have to do more, whether it be talking to them about, you know, how we structured their contracts, whether it be giving them some extra resource where we can. But we really understand the impact that this is having to those customers. And we, as you know, we believe that we're partners to our customers, and that's what we really build our business off of. One of our values is obsess over customers. And that's really what we're trying to do, is we understand that some are getting really hard hit, and we want to show our empathy and help them. And then there are others that are just skyrocketing, like you said. And how can we also help them and get the right resources for them to be able to shift as fast as they need to shift, so they don't miss a beat and they can move forward quickly.
So one of the very impressive things you've done is the camaraderie you have in your customer community, right? I've been part of your customer advisory board. I've been to a LEAP conference. There just seems to be a very positive vibe about your customer base. Now, given that none of us can travel, how are you keeping that camaraderie going? I mean, has it been difficult, or you still feel the love?
That's a good way to put it. I've worked in a number of different companies, and this is the best customer base I have ever worked with. Really enthusiastic, smart, excited people who love to partner and aren't afraid to share feedback, good and bad. And we really listen to it and use that feedback. You brought up LEAP. It's our annual user conference, and some people describe it kind of as a love fest, because there's just, everyone's excited, and we're doing really cool things, and our customers are giving a ton of presentations about all the great things that they're doing, and it's just wonderful. But we couldn't do LEAP in Orlando this year. We would have been able to come see you. Couldn't do it this year, so I had to do it virtual. But we had 10,000 people register.
Whoa.
And yeah, 10,000 register, and it was just amazing. And one of my favorite things every year is being able to talk to our customer base about what we're doing and what the next things are. And I still got to do that from a camera angle, which was exciting. But what was really cool is we did a lot of interviews with our customers and got to hear from our customers' voice. And that's what they want to hear, is from each other. So we offered, we have 22,000 visits to the site afterwards. People are consuming a ton of content. We have a lot of different breakouts, again, from employees and customers. So that just showed the real connection there. We also implemented Workfront 1, which is basically kind of pulling together all our resources in one place. So training and documentation and support, and our newly revised customer community. And we've seen the increase to that community and working together grow by 66%, which has just been phenomenal to show how much they do want to engage and work together and be part of the Workfront community. And then we also have continued with our user groups. We've actually added more. Typically we do those in person, but now we're doing them remote and using the really cool Zoom breakout room feature. I don't know if you've used that, Vinnie, but it's really cool to allow them to work in smaller groups and really share. But they're all in the same situation that we all are in, trying to navigate through something nobody expected and a change in the economy, and having other people to talk to is just comforting. And so we try to give that opportunity to our customers wherever we can.
So I interviewed your CEO, Alex Shootman. He was actually the one who kicked off this series that I've been doing since April. And he's just so inspirational, so positive. I presume he survived this crazy 4 months. He's still a very positive person, right?
Yeah.
What other leadership qualities have you seen that inspire you? Do you have mentors? Is it your faith? Is it family? Or is it your customers? What has inspired you through this doom and gloom?
I think it's all of the above. So first of all, Alex Shootman is our CEO and my boss, and he's always like that, Vinnie. It's not just during this trying time. He is always incredibly positive and looking forward. And one of the best things about Alex is his empathy. And that just shines through the whole company, is being empathetic and caring about each other. And that to me is the biggest quality I've seen in this whole time, is the empathy and the caring about people as human beings and the things that they need to go through in addition to work, and the understanding that's going on. And it's okay if my dog walks in while we're talking, or my kid shouts across the room, or I had a meeting with someone the other week and he was sitting in the back seat of his car because it was the only place he could get quiet. And it's okay. And it's kind of fun. And that's the biggest thing I'm seeing in leaders now that I really admire, is that comfort level and that ability to just understand everyone's got their things going on, and it's okay.
that, like I said, he's a very impressive leader, and
Yes.
he shared that his first crisis was when he was, I think he was a BMC, and when the first Iraq war took place and his quarter cratered. And he says, it's unbelievable. It's happening to me again after 20 years. And I go, Alex, it's you. We're going to blame it all on you. So I've been asking everyone, and I'm hoping you've polled your customers so you can give me a composite. But I've been asking every executive, do you see a V, a sharp recovery, a U, a gradual recovery, a W, kind of choppy, or an L, it's going to be dead for a while? So can you hazard a guess what your customers are thinking? Well, first of all, tell me what you're thinking, what you think your customers would say in general.
Yeah, that's such a tough one, and I'm definitely not I am not an economist, so I'm
cop out.
So yeah, I'm going to cop out. I'm not an economist. Not going to take a guess. But what we are seeing is our customers really looking for even more visibility into what's going on in their organization. So what tools are they using? How are they using? What's the benefit they're getting? What kind of work are they getting done? What kind of capacity do they have? Because they're making hard decisions. So everyone's going to be tightening their buckles. That's definitely going to happen because no one quite knows what direction we're going right now, and you want to be prepared. So that's a lot of what we're seeing from our customers in terms of what they believe the next phase is. I definitely can't speak for them.
Well, Sue, I'm going to let you off the hook. This morning, I wrote a note about your new scenario planner. I got a briefing last week, and I included a little bit of a video of your colleagues in that. So that actually is helping customers think through, no matter what the alphabet, you can reprioritize and put new constraints and so on. So
absolutely.
Even if you didn't provide a good answer to your customers, you're going to give them a solution that will help them.
We are giving them that solution along to go with our Align product, which is really around setting goals. And then with those goals, how are you going to achieve them? And taking different types of scenarios to see what works in your organization, what doesn't, what do you have capacity for. And it's just a great combination to help our customers really figure out what the next step is.
Well, Sue, any other advice you want to offer either your colleagues or your customers? I mean, you're so customer friendly. That would seem like job one for every company in this time frame. So share some more.
I think, again, I'm going to go back to the people. So I think just showing the empathy and having a little bit of fun with it. Be okay. I did video for my team kind of when we first went into this, and unbeknownst to me, my 11-year-old was standing behind me doing little dances and making little emojis and little hand signals, and I didn't realize it till they watched it and let me know. But just have a little bit of fun with it. Try to keep it a little lighter. I think the other thing is keep your teams busy. Nobody right now wants to be not busy because everyone's a little scared of what's going on and what's happening in the world, and there's so much work to do. So really just let your teams be busy and give them a purpose and make sure you know your purpose. My purpose is the customers, and my purpose is making sure that our customers get the most success out of their investment with Workfront, and that we are a true partner to them. We listen to them and we help them be overall successful.
That's great advice, especially to keep busy, right? I mean, I'm just amazed that we have not allowed so many industries to continue, and that is probably the worst thing we can do is have people just have time on their hands. So
exactly.
Well, Sue, thank you so much. I really appreciate your input, and I'll encourage your customers to make you busy.
I appreciate that, Vinnie, very much.
Thank you very much.
Great seeing you and talking to you. Thank you.
Stay cool in that heat there.
Oh, I will try to. Thank you.
Thank you.